Canucks Nation, after seasons of tantalizing glimpses and frustrating near misses, are we finally on the cusp of witnessing a true breakout? Are you ready for the unsung heroes to step into the spotlight and redefine this team's destiny under first-time NHL head coach Adam Foote? Because if recent whispers and a compelling new article are to be believed, big things are on the horizon for several Canucks players who are absolutely primed for a career-defining season. We're about to dive deep into who these players are, why this year is different, and what it means for the Vancouver Canucks as they look to bounce back from a disappointing last season. This isn't just about individual success, it's about the very heart of this team's future, and whether these rising talents can finally deliver on the promise that has kept us all holding our breath. Before we jump into the thrilling details, if you're not yet part of our growing community of 8,200 subscribers and you want to help us smash our goal of 10,000 before the puck drops on the regular season, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon. You won't want to miss a single update as we track every twist and turn of this pivotal Canucks season. Now, let's get straight to the electrifying news. Breakouts are incoming. A recent article from Canucks Army has set the hockey world abuzz, spotlighting 6 Canucks players they believe are truly poised for a breakout season. And let's be clear about the criteria here. We're not talking about bounce-back candidates like Elias Pettersson, Nils Hoglander, or Brock Besser, who, while needing to elevate their game, have already had their moments in the NHL spotlight. No. This list focuses on players on the current roster who haven't yet fully popped at the NHL level. The ones whose potential has been simmering, waiting for the perfect moment to boil over. And the Canucks, as it turns out, have a surprising number of candidates ready to burst through next season. The first name on everyone's lips, and probably the most hyped, unsung guy heading into the season, is none other than Huda. If you saw him in our thumbnail and intro, you know the excitement surrounding this 25-year-old Swede is palpable. The New York Rangers, his former team, likely thought they had a bona fide NHL contributor when he exploded for 22 goals and 23 assists in 74 games as a 23-year-old during the 2022-23 season. That was a lot of numbers, but the point is he showed flashes of brilliance. However, in the 2 seasons since, Huda has been tragically limited to just 66 games and a mere 13 goals, his career plagued by a series of severe head injuries. But here's the game changer. All indications are that Huda has enjoyed a fully healthy summer, training without any restrictions. This is monumental news, especially considering the harrowing hit we all witnessed, which left many wondering if he would ever play hockey again. Thankfully, the prognosis is overwhelmingly positive. Huda is not only playing, but his health has fully recovered, and he appears to be 110% ready to attack this season with a vengeance and a chip on his shoulder. In his end-of-year media availability, he openly discussed feeling like he hadn't reached his full potential with the team due to injuries and a slow mid-season start. This season, however, he's poised to attack it with far more vigor, being present for an entire season and firmly entrenched in the lineup. The opportunity is knocking loudly for Huda to seize the coveted second-line center position in Vancouver and truly run with it. If he can, the offensive numbers should follow suit. The Canucks desperately need Huda to have a big year, and it feels like Huda himself needs it just as much. Last season, despite injuries and a mid-season trade, he recorded 26 points in 56 games, a 0.464 point per game rate that's slightly higher than his career 0.433 mark. But let's be honest, that's not even in the neighborhood of where the Canucks need him to be. Can Huda generate 60 points in his first full season in Vancouver? It's a colossal ask for a player who has yet to reach the 50-point mark in a single season. But that's precisely what the Canucks require from him if this team is to be truly competitive. When you scrutinize the depth chart, it's glaringly obvious. The Canucks need a strong, solid 2C they can rely on all year, rather than constantly rotating players to find the right fit. While we might see a rotation of Huda, Nils Hoglander, and Aatu Raty in that 2C spot throughout the year, Huda remains the strongest candidate. He's also the highest paid player for that role behind Elias Pettersson on the second line, This means he's expected to create a wealth of opportunities, score a lot of goals, and rack up assists. This would be a massive boon for Vancouver, a team that struggled profoundly with goal scoring last season, baffling many who expected their offense to be far more potent. Here's hoping a full, healthy season in Vancouver allows Huda to flip that script entirely. The second compelling name on this list is Aatu Raty, for whom a clear path to prosperity has been carved out. The burning question is this the season he finally grasps a full-time NHL job? The Canucks certainly appear to be banking on it. Still a remarkably young 22 years old, Ratu parlayed a strong training camp and preseason a year ago into a spot in the opening night lineup. While he shuttled between the Abbotsford Canucks and Vancouver during the season, his flashes of brilliance in 33 NHL games provided undeniable hope and belief that Ratu is ready for more. A near point-per-game producer in 43 AHL games last season, the Big Finn also scored 7 times and added 4 assists in his 33 NHL appearances. The third-line center role is quite simply there for the taking for Ratu. The hope, of course, is that a pair of injuries that limited his availability for Abbotsford during their Calder Cup run in June haven't hindered his summer training, particularly his foot speed. A physically imposing player with legitimate face-off prowess, Ratu feels like he's on the absolute cusp of securing full-time NHL employment. He is undoubtedly one to watch. I couldn't agree more. When you look at his face-off numbers, we discussed it recently when talking about the penalty kill, and Aatu Raty emerged as a strong contender for that role precisely because of his exceptional ability in the face-off circle. He was one of our best last season. While he may need to refine other aspects of his penalty-killing game, winning face-offs is crucial both at even strength and shorthanded. It's not just about winning a draw and getting off the ice. It's about becoming a true two-way player who can win face-offs and remain on the ice for penalty kills. I genuinely love how much this opportunity is presenting itself for him, as that spot is wide open at the number 4 center, and potentially even at number 3 if he rotates with Huda. I don't believe what we see on day 1 will be the final lineup, nor will it be static throughout the season. We're likely to see many different looks from Vancouver's depth chart, but I do anticipate Ratu securing a regular role in the 4C spot. Of all the prospects, he seems the most poised to make that leap. If he can consistently win face-offs, operate as a dual-threat center winger, and be effective on the penalty kill, we could be looking at a truly massive season for Aatu Raty. This is huge, especially considering many wondered about trading him last season. What was his ceiling? What was his floor? We now have a pretty good idea of his floor, and it's not looking shabby at all. Now, the real question is what that ceiling looks like beyond the face-off circle, in producing points, contributing to the penalty kill, landing hits, and creating opportunities for his teammates. He's another big one to keep an eye on. Finally, the third player we need to discuss is one that might surprise some, Linus Karlsson. For Karlsson, it truly feels like a make-it-or-break-it year at the NHL level. He'll turn 26 in November, and he should be entering the 2025-26 season with the most confidence he's ever had as a professional. This is a player who absolutely dominated the AHL last season, scoring 37 goals in just 57 games for Abbotsford and proving to be an absolute beast in the playoffs. He has always been a goal scorer whenever he's played, but that prolific scoring touch hasn't yet translated to the NHL, where Karlsson has managed just 3 goals and 3 assists in 27 career games. Much of this disparity, however, can be attributed to differing roles between his time in the minors and his big league call-ups. If he's able to carve out a consistent role for the Canucks, the ideal scenario is that he brings some of that minor league scoring pedigree with him and pushes for more opportunity higher in Vancouver's lineup. But the crucial first step is simply making the team. There will undoubtedly be significant pressure on Karlsson at training camp. Of all the players on this list, Karlsson is arguably the most volatile. While Huda is a relatively safe bet for the roster and Ratu is absolutely secure, Karlsson's situation is a genuine 50-50 proposition. At 26 years old, he should be reaching a level where he can play an entire season, especially given his proven capabilities in the minors. Why it hasn't translated to the NHL yet is a perplexing question. Vancouver, perhaps, threw him into the deep end very early on, giving him an opportunity in that Edmonton series where it was essentially, hey, have fun, go out there, cover Connor McDavid, and let us know how that goes for you. Welcome to the NHL, kid. While not a traditional welcome, it was certainly a memorable Vancouver moment for him, playing his first career playoff game against such formidable opponents. He rose to the occasion at times, but there were also moments where his lack of experience and pedigree for the playoffs was evident. He showed more growth last season. But I still believe that if he doesn't make it out of Canucks camp, they will likely move on from him. Even if he does make the team, there's still a lot of uncertainty regarding how many games he'll get with the big club this upcoming season. Given how Manny Malhotra utilized him and how he performed in the AHL Calder Cup playoffs, I think we're definitely going to see more of him in the AHL. While it might be tough to say for a 26-year-old, perhaps one more season in the AHL, spending a full year under Manny Malhotra is exactly what it will take to get him fully ready. So, Canucks Nation, what are your thoughts on all of this? What do you make of the current Canucks depth chart? And of these three players, Hede, Aatu Ratu, and Linus Karlsson, which ones do you believe are most poised for that monumental breakout season? And, perhaps more controversially, which one do you think might fall short of those high expectations? Is it Karlsson, or perhaps even Ratu, despite his promising trajectory? Let us know what you have to say down in the comments below. Your passion and insights are what make this community so vibrant. That's going to do it for this episode of Canucks Digest. I've been your host, Griffin. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive and subscribe for all the latest updates and unfiltered takes on your Vancouver Canucks. Take care, and let's keep the faith, because this season feels like it could be truly special.